again, thanks for having me here. The first thing that I would like to say is that we don't have a challenge, we have a problem, and then potentially a challenge, but we have a problem. We have created something very unique in Europe in the last 30 years, which is a single market of 440 million people, 23 million companies, and we represent 15% of world GDP. But instead of taking advantage of that, we are lagging behind. And we are lagging behind because we are investing less in innovation, 2.3% in R&D, far away from the 3% that was the target. China is leading in 37 out of 44 leading technologies. The US is leading in the other 7. There is no European company on that space. Out of the 50 largest ICT companies in the world, only 5 are from Europe. And in my sector, in the telecom sector, in the last 15 years, US telecom companies have been up 260%. European companies have been down 60%. So it's not the sector, it's something around the European sector. And we are lagging behind in the deployment of next generation network, 5 and 5G standalone. There is an investment gap of 174 billion euros compared with the targets that the European Union has for 2030. So at a time that this innovation cycle is accelerating and we are living the convergence of AI, quantum computing, next generation networks and blockchain, which is going to create an explosion of innovation that is even more intensive than the ones that happened 20 years ago, we have created something that is very valuable, but we are not taking advantage of that. So the question is why? And my view is that we are running this thing with the rules of the previous century. We are still running innovation, we are still running some sectors with rules of the previous century, ignoring that there is a new economy that has been created that is totally beside this ruling. So we are competing in an unlevel playing field. And we need to acknowledge that by the definition of the relevant markets. So we are not asking for anybody else to be regulated. We are asking same service, same rule, same obligation. And we are not there. So I will finalize by saying that, it's time for Europe to decide where do we want to be 5 years, 10 years down the road. And when we decide that, when we have a common view where how we want to take advantage of this massive value-creating thing that we have been creating with the single market, then we decide what's the competition policy and what the industrial policy that is according to that target. Because we are still living with targets that were imposed 30, 40 years ago, with most of this economy was not even here. So I will stop there. I think that we have a massive problem, a massive challenge, and I think that time has come, as Belén was saying, to act. If we want to change things. If we don't change things, nothing is going to happen differently.